Trey's finally getting there. Picking his nose.
So Jimmy, your idea with the string and the weight and the chalk, that's a good idea.
7:30. Still welding.
You won't see the dents, Jimmy.
The dents are right there.
Right under the metal.
Yeah.
Can't see them.
So now we'd be.
That's a perfect place to dent it. Tray's looking real good.
Oh, look at that.
After we put the frames together and got it looking half like a tray, we then got the wheel arches in both sides. Having fun up there?
Yeah.
Well, it looks fantastic. All right, let's do the next one. We got one side done. We worked pretty late that night getting it done. The next morning we came in, or Craig came in and finished the other one. We were planning on doing more, but we were hungry, so we went to sushi, as you do. After we got both guards matched up and the height right, we had to cut out a few small pieces to put on the inside of the guards where it met the tray to fill in the gap. We welded them both on the inside and the outside. Then we grinded the welds off to make it look a little smoother. Once we finished doing that, we started sanding it back. I zinc primed it, powder coated it for rust protection. We sanded it back because we were going to use Sikaflex to hold the tray down, and we wanted it to bond properly. So we used Sikaflex Maxi Bond, probably the strongest one that we could find to hold the tray down. We didn't want it to come off.
Maybe just line the front holes up. That's going to help us a lot. I'll watch the back.
We'd already cut the wheel arches out of the aluminium plate that we're going to use for the tray. It was two pieces. We had to weld it together. We got it TIG welded together, then grind it off smooth, fitted it onto the tray, and made sure we had enough clamps and weights and everything holding it down so it held in place. We left it on for 48 hours, I think it was, before we decided to pull the braces and the weights off and make sure it had stuck down properly. We also had the bar bent up that sits behind the cabin and welded some threads in it, drilled some holes out in the front of the tray and mounted that on there also. once we took all the bracing off. We just gave it a quick tap underneath and a bit of a hit to see and make sure that it was bonded properly, and it all stuck down very well. Then we started cutting out the frame that will fit inside the bar that sits at the back of the cabin. Grinded it down nice and smooth so it fitted really well. We also put a layer of filler over the TIG welds that were grinded down so it looked nice and smooth, and then welded in the plate into the bar that sat behind the cabin so we can prep it for painting.
Does that move forward a little bit now?
Yeah, it's always was.
We sanded it back, put some primer on it and some guide coat, and sanded it back, making sure it was all level and smooth. Then after a quick rub and a clean down, we got it prepped and ready for colour. So first was a clean, then went a high fill primer all over. Then Craig mixed up some cherry black, which was the colour we were using on the car, and gave it a coat. I think he actually gave it 3 coats of colour on the tray. It came out pretty good for the colour. Very even, looks good. I had to stay outside to film this part because clear coat goes everywhere. It's a lot thicker, or it's a lot mistier than the colour does. It just gets over everything, so I couldn't have the camera in the booth. But once it was finished and I went inside and had a look at it, it came out great. Looked really good. We buffed it, which I didn't film because we were all working on it. And once it was finished and it looked really nice, we put it back on the tray. On the 1 tonner, and that was pretty much it. We put the lights in, bolted it down, and that was the finished job.